Hello and good evening. This is your boy Von B, Ricky, and the noob adventurer Elton, the great one. Gotta show y'all some love. I am moving myself to the side because it felt weird being in the middle. I felt like a sandwich. So, because I'm the only one who wants to show their scraggly face, and the lighting shows off my gray hairs. So
Hey,
much fun.
I'm starting to I got like some pimples, so that's my reason.
Oh, yeah, okay. Rub your youth in my face. So, all right. Well, it's been a interesting yet slow week. There's some Star Wars news and there's a bit of Marvel stuff. Uh, there's a transgender person whose PR firm is throwing out rumors of them being considered for Zelda. And given the state of, sorry, a lot of these studios, it's kind of a weird place we're in right now where I'm not shocked that if they would do it, and I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't. Especially given that it is the first day of the month we shall not name. So what?
You know they had all their events already, or at least the cities
What
around
what
here.
yeah, the one in West Hollywood. I'm like, dude, it's not June yet.
I know, and then I think in Long Beach too. I don't know if it was the parade, but they had like a little festival thing. I'm like, wow, it's earlier and earlier.
I'm like, dude, I don't care. You can be whatever you want, bro. And then no, as far as I know, nobody's tripping too much. You know, however you get down, that's how you get down. More power to you. I don't need to. I don't need to attend the parade for you either. So it's like big. Okay. Like big whoop. You okay? You like dude, person who has the same parts as you. There you go. That's about as much as I'm gonna give you. All right. So do you guys want to talk about the Star Wars stuff first?
Yeah, let's go with Star Wars.
Alrighty. So that would be all right. Well, I think the first one there is going to be there's going to be a Maul Shadow Lord show. All right. Here we go. All right, back in April during Star Wars Celebration in Japan, exciting news was announced that post Clone Wars, pre Star Wars Rebels adventures of, I don't know why they have darts cut out, but Maul in the works for Disney Plus. Synopsis for the Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord that was released in time reads: during the Clone Wars, Maul plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. In a new series set after the events of the final season of the Clone Wars, Maul rises again to lead the underworld factions. Now, voice actor Sam Whitmore has shared some more details. It sounds like Maul won't be depicted as a complete villain in the show. So it's going to be an animated series. So are you guys excited about that?
It's Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah. Essentially him, I guess.
Oh, like how not an origin story, kind of.
No, it takes place after.
Oh, after. I
Yeah,
was
after
thinking
the Clone Wars. So
yeah.
after he was like after he was killed, then he resurrected himself and he tried to get revenge and all that stuff. Maul question whether creating the empire is a good idea. It's what Sidious had in mind. It's a little scary. Maul comes from a time of swords, sorcery, and magic and knights. Okay. And now the color universe is being sucked out of this mechanized empire. And Maul's like, is this right? Is this the universe we're trying to build? Okay. That's that. given how his character was in Rebels, it seems to be a weird thought process for him.
But didn't they Obi Kenobi killed him on the
He
on
did.
Rebels?
In Rebels. So he gets killed in Rebels. So like it's like, yeah, I don't know if there's like a scene where they go a little bit into the future because because he cut him in half, he still wants revenge and he tried to get it and he got killed. So basically
Again.
it's two old men fighting. So that's basically what happened. He kills Maul. So that's very weird that he's being that introspective, considering how conniving and shifty he was during the Rebel. From what I remember on Rebels, he seemed to be kind of sneaky. So like, why would that character care whether or not the Empire was a good idea or not?
Yeah,
Good
because they
point.
can't really write a history, right? But like on the Clone Wars, if you watch the Clone Wars, it tells you a little bit of his history, how he came up, he became the apprentice, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Man, you can fill in the gaps, but see, this is what the problem with doing prequels is, that you eventually got to figure this stuff out, but you have guardrails where that you can't go past. So like, you can't make an introspective animated show about him not really feeling how things are going, and then have him go into Rebels where he's this sneaky, underhanded kind of person who still wants revenge against Obi-Wan. Like, those things don't really go together. But
That's true. It's hard to write backwards.
Yeah, because then you wind up doing stuff like what George Lucas did with like R2D2. So R2D2 in the prequels had jetpacks and like all kind of stuff.
Oh,
So why would you take all of that out? One, why would you take it all out? Two, if he still had it, why the hell he didn't use it when he was on Dagobah? Instead of trying to swim across like that little pond or whatever the hell that was, he could have just floated across. So like you have to constrain yourself. Now, if you sit within these parameters, you can tell all kinds of stories. You just can't go outside of this box that's been created. Now,
yeah, you can't like suddenly give him like extraordinary powers that he didn't have before.
right.
But I like his character because he's like, as you said, he's mysterious. He's like a little conniving and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like him as a character. So
Right. So that's why, like, I was basically annoyed when he got killed. Like, why would you kill? Like, look, the coolest character in this damn movie, and you kill him.
yeah, right.
Like, it was stupid.
You guys ever watched the Tales of the Underworld?
No. Should I?
I haven't.
Yeah, with Bad Kane and was it Ventress?
Okay.
The Ventress was okay. The Kane one was much better.
Hmm.
But I thought they should have made a series better with Brandon the Little Tales. It's only like 10 minutes, 15-minute shows.
Well, to think about, like, yeah, I mean, those are anthologies, so you can tell a short story. I wonder if it says how long this is going to be. Like, how many episodes? Where is this? Damn, there we go. Okay. All right. Raisman Dawn Cartel, but the movie's underperforming the box office, eventually cutting the brakes on continuing. The thing about like the Star Wars Underground is there's many factions. So is he on Coruscant? And if he's on Coruscant, then he gotta put up with I don't know, is Abin Sur still, like, was he in power at that point? Because I'm trying to remember when the what's the name of that game? Shadow of the Empire that came out. So that was like in between the I guess the second movie and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I think that's when that takes place. So that would put him, that would be around that same time period, I think.
Yeah, but the Cad Bane is telling you how he came up as a little kid and stuff like that, and
All
then
right,
how
but
he became who he is now.
so this takes place like after Clone Wars, but the Clone Wars take place like right before yeah, this is because Maul gets killed by. I'm trying to figure out this shit out. Maul gets killed by Obi-Wan when they're both old. So
Yeah, Rebels
like Rebels, and Rebels takes place
after
like okay, all
after
right, after the Clone Wars,
the
but before Star Wars, the New Hope. So it's like it's sketchy like when exactly does this take place? Because it's like all the Jedi have been killed, but when Obi-Wan kills him, they're not super old, but they're getting there. So he's on Tatooine when he does it. So that means Luke is there. This is why you don't touch this stuff, dude, because it can be very complicated.
Yeah, it will be complicated.
And I really don't have faith in the people who write this stuff because they're not very good.
Don't
No,
blame me on that one.
right, because like in order to when you have to stay within the lines, you have to be a very good writer to not go outside of the line and tell a story that can actually fit in the middle of all of this. So there's a lot of stuff happening around this time. So he's
That's gonna be tough.
yeah, so he's upset that the Empire is like at what? He's a Sith, so why would he care? So he shouldn't actually care about the people because he's still a Sith in like in Rebels. So he still acts like a Sith in Rebels. So it's like, how the hell are you gonna make that guy a introspect? Like, I don't think they understand how the Sith were. Do you remember the one where the it was she was a sister and then she went on her first mission and she betrayed them and then she eventually
yeah, that
disappeared or
was
whatever?
the other the that was last year, the Tales of the, what they call?
The Jedi or something like that?
No, that
All right,
was the
well,
first one, and then the Tales of the Jedi, the
I
second
don't
one.
do it.
This is second season.
I have, dude. At this point, I don't know. But the thing that bugged me about that is by the time they get to the point where they're sending you out on missions, they have fully broken you. You're not even,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you are not even contemplating or caring about children getting killed or anything like that.
hmm
Because you have been completely broken down and rebuilt as what that is. That's why former Jedi had no problem killing other Jedi.
So they're gonna
Because they
try to
were
humanize him.
right. Like he's it. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of them when they keep trying to tell a backstory of Wolverine, and they can't really get it right. So they they got to throw all this sappy stuff in it. It's like I don't need to know what his background is. He had a rough childhood. He fought in all these wars, and we're dealing with him now because I don't care. You're not good, and most of these new folks aren't good enough writers to actually come up with a serviceable backstory for almost any of these 50, 60-year-old characters.
Uh,
I don't know, dude. All right, there is two more. Is thing about see if I can find this. All right, well, let's talk about this one. All right, apparently there will be a season 4 of The Mandalorian. I don't know if anybody's actually going to care at that point. Do you care? No. Do you care enough to go actually watch that movie?
The movie?
Yeah. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Remember how they were kicking it on a farm at the end of season 3?
Yeah, like a little house.
Right. They had a little house on the prairie. So, like, I'm not sure what you like. What do you tell of these folks? Like,
I don't think they shouldn't make a movie. They should start making maybe 2 more seasons of good shows, and then make the movie. Right now, it's dead.
yeah, but they're gonna film it, and the Baby Yoda craze is over. Like, if they wanted to do that, they should have did it in
At its
between.
peak.
Right, not
Yeah.
now. Because there's like another rumor, and I think I just found the thing I was looking for. Is
But who's gonna write it?
oh, right, it's what's your boy name? Did Iron Man? It's not Dave Filoni. It's not the yeah, Favreau. But Favreau had something to do with a lot of the Disney shows. It's like they screwed this whole thing up so much. I don't think he actually cared. So I don't know whether or not
They might give
why.
him the freelance to do what he wants, ain't it?
Yeah, does that sound like Kathleen Kennedy to you?
Oh, but she's leaving already.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Any minute now. All right, so rumor much of Star Wars franchise future hinges on Mandalorian Grogu's success.
I agree with that title.
Yeah, pretty obvious.
It's kind of the thing that's holding up Star Wars right now.
Yeah, but Pedro Pascal is in everything right
And
now.
Pedro Pascal. I mean, I like the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I would have liked it more if it would have stayed to what it was, because the way that it was going, like
season 3.
right, season
Yeah.
season 2 ended that particular story, and it was supposed to go off into another thing.
Yeah.
But he was just a bounty hunter, and then I think that's when the Kathleen Kennedy thing kicked in. It was like, well, they're they got to stay together, and then it turned into season 3 where he learning how to be a Mandalorian for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like, why? Like, why is a little Yoda creature gonna be a Mandalorian? So he's gonna stick a helmet on his little head? Like, it literally makes like no
It's not
sense.
the worst thing in Star Wars out right now, but definitely there was a down in quality.
Bro, the fact that you got to make that caveat, that's sad. It's so there is so much stuff that you can tell in the universe, because people always talk about like, well, the Star Wars is just Han, Luke, and Leia. I'm like, no, if you actually read the legend stuff, it was about like all kind of people. Like from the Rogue Squadron, that's when you got Wedge Antilles and all of that, and then all the bounty hunter stuff. Then they got like the new creation of the smugglers, and so just like all kind of stuff that you could actually tell. It would have been far more interesting if they would have just had him complete his mission, where he completed his job. He did what he was supposed to do. He found Grogu, his tribe, which was Luke Skywalker, and then they decided that no, he needs to be back with him for some reason. Then season 3 happens. Then they're on the farm. I don't know where you go from there, especially since Carl Weathers passed on. So it's like, who's gonna be in this? So there's no Gina, no Carl. I don't think Bill Burr is gonna be in. So I guess they're gonna have to introduce all new characters.
Oof.
They're not very good at creating new characters.
They're not.
They're not very good at writing old characters. So it's like, is this like in the article they were talking about Moana 2, because that was supposed to be a TV show that got changed into a movie, and I didn't see it, but apparently you can pretty much tell that that's the case, the way the story was.
That is true. I
And I
watched
think you told
it.
me that.
Yeah, I
think-
watched it, and it does feel like a TV movie.
right.
Yeah.
So I guess they mentioned that because was this supposed to be in the original season 4? Then what is season 4 going to be if they're gonna?
If they're
I
gonna
guess
make
it
a
didn't.
movie.
Right. So just like movie is supposed to be like a mission, but that's what basically the season was. It was a mission. He had a mission. First season was him rescuing and figuring out what the hell this thing is, and the second one was getting him back to his tribe. But that was still one mission. It was stretched out of multiple shows, but it was still one mission. So all right. So what is going on at this particular point in the Grogu universe? The Mandalorians have went back to Mandalore. The Empire is still like no, it's the New Republic at this point, but it's still remnants of the old Empire. So I'm like, what are you gonna tell? What is there to tell about this that make me want to go see this movie? Gonna make a new big bad? Darth Vader's dead. Emperor's dead. Thrawn at that point is trapped in that other universe or whatever that was, or other galaxy. There's like nothing left. I guess they got warlords. So some of the governors became warlords. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I have no clue what the hell they're gonna tell. And if the rest of
and you think they do?
I would
Just bring
hope.
back Luke Skywalker.
Oh god,
They'll just
the CGI one.
randomly bring him in.
Yeah, so you're gonna have uncanny valley Luke Skywalker talking
Oh,
to
God.
Grogu in his little huts because they don't want to put him on what's the name? Yavin. Is it Yavin? I think that's where in the books the Jedi Temple is. But they don't want to go that direction, so they put him in mud huts. They have them little turtle or whatever the hell those things nuns building it for him. Again, they could have told so many damn stories. I don't know what. I know why they did it because they suck.
I think at this point it's name recognition and brand. People are familiar with the newer Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
They're familiar with Grogu and the Mandalorian, so they're just going to do something that is popular, or popular-ish.
Yeah,
That
but
people can at least are familiar with.
Yeah, it's just dead already, man. It's maybe until the next 15 years it'll get better.
Maybe. I think if they what they need to the whole term stepping on your dick, they need to stop doing that. It's literally like every time they get something happens where people get excited again, somebody who works for Lucasfilm comes out and trips over themselves and steps on their own dick. And whatever momentum they had is gone. Just like the Warner Brothers is the same thing. You get this show out of no place with the Penguin that becomes a smash hit that everybody loves. And what do? You just squander whatever you could have had because of taking too long to do the Batman. Then you have your own Batman. And then like it's actually pretty amazing to watch these companies do this like over and over and over again. It's like God is like, all right, I'm gonna give you a little blessing. Here's a little unexpected little thing, and then they go, oh, they screw it up, and he's like, really? Like I'm trying to save your IPs. Please stop destroying or pissing off your customer base or yelling about like whatever thing that pops into your head. Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe Star Wars is dead. And I'm just gonna exist with the legend stuff.
Yeah, man. Basically, I'm thinking it's gonna be like at least 10 or 15 years before something starts changing. Like, I don't think nobody's really gonna watch this stuff nor.
No, and speaking of that, we got the other Disney property that they do the exact same crap, like stepping on their own penis. Marvel. So because of the tariff stuff, I just watched a Doctor Strange yesterday, like the other day. It is amazing when you go back and you look at any of that stuff before Infinity War. Even the worst ones are so much better than what they're putting out right now.
That's true.
Because like there is some humor in Doctor Strange, but not a lot. So he's more snarky than anything. They let serious moments happen, just like when he's talking to Mordo, I forgot the dude name. So when they're having like a talk about like when his whole world gets destroyed because he finds out that the Ancient One has been using dark magic to keep herself alive for all these centuries, they let it ride. They let him stand there and be upset about it. They let him it stew in him. Even though he helps him at the end, and you can understand when he breaks off and he's just tired. And they mentioned like the Ancient One mentions the fact that he's so inflexible. So all that stuff makes sense when he makes decisions. So when you get the end, and you showed the post-credit scene where he goes and takes that dude's magic, you're like, oh man, the next friggin' movie is gonna be awesome. And then what do we get? Season 2 of Vision and the Scarlet Witch. That's what we got.
Yay!
Yeah, instead of like a wizard battle with the dudes going around and he's super powerful and he's taking out friggin' other wizards because he says that there are too many sorcerers. So instead of getting that movie, we got this whole different thing that led into the multiverse and the America Chavez and her planet of lesbian people who somehow have children. And I'm like, it's actually pretty upsetting when you actually have you watched any of them anytime lately?
I didn't know she was lesbian.
Who? America Chavez?
Yeah.
Oh, it was written by a lesbian. Her planet somehow is all lesbians. Yeah, she's like super lesbian. Seriously.
In real life?
No, the character is a lesbian. All right, so the character is a lesbian, and the person who wrote it is a lesbian. It is very, 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 very like lesbian themed, the whole thing, which is probably why they decided to put her in the movie, even though that character is not very popular, like at all.
It's June 1st.
Right. So instead of getting an actual good Doctor Strange movie, we got that where it didn't make any sense because you made such a big deal about how people from other universes being in yours causes an issue. And then at the end of your movie, she's training in the temple with everybody else and nobody cares. I'm like, bro, didn't you just spent an entire movie telling us that you cannot do that? And then at the end, she's just training with everybody else like it's nothing in the world. But the lovely multiverse nonsense. All right, so Fallout, Avengers delayed, X-Men stalled, Iger losing patience. Did the cancel?
When is he gonna retire?
Him?
Yeah.
Don't know, dude. Same time Kathleen Kennedy will. So MCU has been a massive failure since Endgame. Most of the movies and all the Disney Plus shows have underperformed. Fans aren't watching and they're not spending their money. The latest flop from Feige include Thunderbolts, Captain America: Brave New World. Disney even listed Brave New World as a loss in its most recent investor report. Thunderbolts is not projected to make less than Cap 4. Up next is the Fantastic Four. And the star of Fantastic Four is already saying stuff to piss off the conservative base because he's an idiot.
What has he been saying?
He wants to be on the right side of history. He's talking about immigrants and how he was an immigrant. He's failing to mention that his dad was rich. So when he came to America, he was a rich kid, but he's trying to put himself in the like they snuck in across the border. It's like that's not what happened with you. I don't know why you're trying to pretend that you are. So he like stop calling half your customer base Nazis. That will probably work out very well for you if you stop doing that.
Who said that?
Just maybe.
No, he said that. He this part of the reason with the Gina Carano thing is he basically when Trump won in 2016. Yeah, he no. Is it 2016 or he says or 2020? I'm trying to remember which one he said it. He either said that something about how he basically called half the people who voted for him Nazis. He wrote it in a post. He's always saying stuff like this. He is super left wing, and he doesn't know
who you're talking about.
Pedro Pascal. He doesn't know how to shut up. So he just said something in Cannes, which is only going to help Gina Carano's lawsuit, because it's like, bro, this dude won't stop talking about half the population of America, yet you fired this person because they said one thing that you didn't agree with. So this dude won't shut up. He's like Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill just lost his mind.
I don't think he's really left it. I think it's mostly like you said. His dad was rich, and they're like they have this elitist mindset, you know.
Could be, but he's still calling half the population of America Nazis, dude.
Yeah,
on a continual basis.
He don't care because he's rich, like you said. He came from Chile, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And they're rich, so for him, it's like you grew up rich and stuff like that. That's why you say shit like that.
He might not care, but he's still like, the face of the movie, and then you're gonna be killing the movie before it comes out. A la Snow White.
I mean, if I was Disney, they were smart about it, I would just replace them.
Oh, look, people don't actually want him to be Mr. Fantastic. It's too late. The movie's already filmed. Yeah. It's gonna be coming out in July, I think, something like July, and they're gonna have to do what they tried to do with Rachel Zegler, where the producer of the film just went to New York and told her to shut up. Shut up. Stop talking.
Movie.
You're killing the movie. Stop talking.
It's not even out yet.
Right. And it's the same thing. So people are already upset with the female Silver Surfer thing, which I don't know why y'all decided. Well, I do know why they decided to do that, because they're stupid. Then they did reshoots. And apparently in the reshoots is to flesh out her character. It's like, why are you trying to flesh out a character that most people don't want to see? I don't care about her backstory, why she became the Silver Surfer. I don't.
I have a theory. I wonder, most of these actors that are doing these shows in Disney, no other show that people are really saying it, right? Just mostly people from Disney and doing the acting. They say all this crazy stuff.
No, it's pretty rampant.
No, but mostly more in Disney, right?
You hear about it more because they're more high profile, but
I think they just say it just so they can get
more attention.
Good standing with Disney. Like they're defending. Look, I'm defending you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
that's true.
That sounds about right.
At the cost of the fan base, though. Well,
but they don't care. They're getting paid.
They don't care. Yeah.
It's the hell with you guys. The hell with you and Showbone and Elton. You know.
So what if our movie makes no money?
Yeah.
Well, they're still gonna. It doesn't seem Disney don't care, so they're still gonna hire them.
I don't know if Bob Iger's getting annoyed. He's starting to care because the investors are starting to care, and they're bringing up a lot in these investor meetings. If you like to listen to any of them, somebody always starts bringing up all this stuff. And this year they haven't
signed a contract. Don't just shut up. Just talk about the movie or the series. That's it,
bro. They need to just all the people that are in movies and they need to put them all in the stadium. All right, go tell them all come to the stadium. Have a dude walk up to the front of the stadium of all these people who are in all these movies and TV shows and say, shut up. No one cares about your opinion. Just like, or they can play the Ricky Gervais thing again. Because apparently they didn't listen to when he said that in the first place. Nobody cares about your opinion, and most of your opinions are stupid. You're uninformed, and nobody cares. All you're doing is pissing off your customer base every time you open your mouth and say something stupid, because all they're hearing is some rich dude calling them troglodytes and saying how have all the people who live in the middle of the country are less than them and should know better, should mind their betters.
But the funny part is he said he was calling all the fans Nazis. It's like, and my thing is like, you came from a Nazi country, dude.
I don't think he cares. Like,
No, because Chile was a lot of Nazis over there.
Right, but you're talking about folks who don't see their hypocritical ways.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just like an elitist mindset, shit that they stuff saying they say.
Right. So now they're trying to figure out like what they can do to get people to start watching these movies again. All right, get rid of the woke stuff. Tell your actors to shut up. Just tell the story. That's it. There's a reason why Minecraft made money. Sonic the Hedgehog made money. All these movies that actually made money.
Stitch.
Yeah. Even though they screwed the story up, it's just well, we'll see how it does in the second week. But for the most part, it is none of the stuff that makes money doesn't have any of this crap in it. And it's pretty obvious that where we're at. The girl boss thing, like that ballerina, that John Wick ballerina thing, is gonna tank because it screams girl boss.
I think he's just gonna come out like for like maybe a minute and that's it. They're just trying to make you go watch the movie, but he's just gonna be in a little short scene.
Ooh, Pedro?
Oh, ballerina one.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be like a dream she had or something like that. That's it,
bro.
That's
Nobody.
why they're using the John Wick.
Yeah. So you could go watch it, and then you're gonna be
You
disappointed.
could go watch it and then be disappointed.
Dude, at this point, bro, no, they're not even gonna get that because all they're gonna see is yet another 5'1" woman who is kicking the crap out of 6'2" dudes. Nobody's interested in that anymore. That movie is not making any money. It's just not.
Who produced this shit?
Well, you got to remember, dude, all this stuff it wasn't greenlit like last year. It was 4 or 5 years ago. Just like Ironheart and the Marvels and all this stuff greenlit 4 or 5 years ago in the height of the Me Too movement, in the height of BLM and all these other.
Who produced this movie, Ballerina?
Is it Paramount?
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to remember who did John Wick. Cause it's the same people who did John Wick.
I think it's Paramount then.
Right. So it's the same people. But again, remember, this stuff is greenlit years before.
The shit that they had to bring out.
Yep. So all this stuff that's coming out it's all gonna be dog shit. It just because it was okayed at a different time period where they can still get some people to come see these movies. That ain't happening nowadays. People is like they just not going to go see this stuff. I got money's tight. Everything is just tripping. Like I'm spending more money on stuff than anything.
Well, eggs went down.
Yay! Yeah, that's actually I just commented on that with somebody. They were saying how like what's Trump doing or whatever. I'm like, well, gas is lower and eggs are half the price that they were when he started. So eggs are a pretty big staple of a lot of people's diet. So having that at least be half the price.
Yeah, restaurants, everything they use eggs, man.
Yeah, so that's an actual good thing. But everything else is still relatively high. Like, but inflation is down, so people are still kind of leery with their money. So you got to give them something that they like want to go, like actually want to go see. So that they want to leave their house and then get in the car, spend gas, go to a theater, spend the money to get in the theater, and then spend another $50-$60 just to buy food, to sit in the seats, hopefully you went to a new theater, or just like we discussed before, some of these theaters are trash. They don't want to spend, like, they don't have money to spend on fixing all the seats or whatever. You know, but you got to deal with all that. You got to deal with the people making noise, the people on their phone. So anything that I want to go deal with any of this stuff, it better be something. It's gonna have to be something that I actually want to watch. Otherwise, I'll just wait till it comes out on whatever whoever made it. They're gonna put it out on their streaming service. So I'll just wait until that happens. And that's what most people are doing. It's like Captain America 4 is on, I think, Disney Plus right now.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, now it's on Disney Plus. So I guess at some point I'll get bored enough. I'll check it out, and then I could.
And then you're gonna count. Damn, that was a good movie. I should have watched it.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
Hey, if I ever watch Ballerina, it's only for Anna Darmus. And only for her.
I'm quite sure there are plenty of pictures on the internet. Okay. All right. But we do got some good news, because let me share this tab. Apparently the old Punisher is back with the skull and bones and all that stuff. So John Bertha, Marvel Comics brings back the Punisher.
Make the series?
No, you don't know what they did to him in the comics, do you? They changed his logo. No, they changed his logo because cops were using it. Then they they had his wife, like, they brought his wife back to life, in which she emasculated him as he was being tortured, I think. So she was upset that he let her die. So she came back and she emasculated him. They destroyed the Punisher.
That's in the comics, right?
Right. Essentially, the reason why they did that is because the Chuds liked him. So they don't like the fact that they're using this, like, the skull and crossbones on stuff. All right, so Marvel Comics even went so far as to completely destroy Frank Castle by removing the very reason he's the Punisher. They brought his wife back from the dead, leaving Frank demoralized and forsaken by his resurrected wife, Maria. The reason they got rid of Frank Castle is that they hated that the Punisher represents. Many people in the police and military in the real world are inspired by the Punisher and even uses his logo. Well, the wokies hate that. They hate the police. They hate the military. And of course, they hate Trump. All right, so the most recent series canceled after 4 issues. Yeah. So they basically made him a wuss. It was really weird. He wasn't using guns. He was using mythical something that stunned people or some shit like that. Dude, it was really weird.
A guy from his family being massacred and then killing everybody, and then becomes all soft.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, so this is a 5-issue limited series. Red Band written by Bijan Percy. So he's back to guns, has the skull on his chest again, and he's killing people, shooting people. That's what the Punisher does. The memories, a full clip in the first. His violent search for answers could only be chronicled in the Red Band series. Bullets will fly, but will flow, and the citizens and criminals of New York City alike will fear the name of the Punisher. All right, so it's an R-rated book. Hey, look, weapons covered in blood. His face covered in blood. So, yeah, apparently he's going to be in. There's a rumor that he's going to be in Spider-Man 4.
That's cool.
Yeah, because there is a story. I'm trying to, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. That has because the other rumor is that the Hulk is in it too. And I think there's a story where somehow the Punisher was trying to kill the Hulk or something, and it turns into a whole thing with him and Spider-Man and all that. Okay. Oh, my back at it. Nope. Marvel Comics sellout Tom Brevoort. This is the dude who says that he can't, even though people really want Mary Jane and Peter Parker to be back together again, he just doesn't want to do it because reasons. All right, so I guess it is talking about the comics. So this is basically just thanking the man. So this is what it looks like.
I think they're gonna put out with the Spider-Man, and after that, they're gonna make another series with the Punisher.
Well, I mean,
Just to get him back on track.
He's in Daredevil, so he's in Daredevil,
Mhm.
and so
Maybe they're already foreshadowing this, huh?
yeah. Basically, he's
Like a mechanic or
Daredevil.
some shit.
No, Daredevil is lecturing him about what he does, and he's like, "Bro, you tried all this nicey stuff, and where did it get you? Your best friend's dead. It's like all this stuff in your life is all screwed up because you let people live, and you don't actually go after anybody." So that's basically what he told him. Like, I can see but it was a good thing to show you where his point of view is the justice system sucks. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go out and freaking do anything, but I can see how after something like that happens to you, depending on where your mindset is, you could become the Punisher. Where he just about vengeance. It's not going to get you anywhere in life. It tends to be very destructive. That's why they say forgiveness is not necessarily about the person that it's not about the person that you forgive. It's about actually healing yourself because you're letting that vengeance go. You know, like you are poisoning yourself trying to go after somebody, and so he's lecturing him while he's living in a basement that like a bum. Yeah, you know. Back to what I was saying earlier about the Marvel stuff. If you go watch any of those movies, and it's like, man, you never know how good something is until it stops happening. And it's like there's literally no reason for most of these for me to go see any of these movies that's coming out. I'm 50-50 on Superman. Like, I don't think James Gunn actually understands super positive characters. I think he understands like damaged people. He does a very good job with damaged people, making them likable, lovable, and have them overcome their issues. That is not Superman. Superman, I guess he does have some issues, but is a little different. You know, it's dealing with the fact that he's a symbol of hope for a lot of people, and having to so even though he's an alien, he was raised in Kansas, so he still has a Midwestern thought process.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be a lot for that type of person.
That's true. He's good at writing those characters, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to cheer for them and stuff. So
Right, because he also wants to.
We'll see how he does with Superman.
Oh, he wants to do Brave and the Bold. That Superman and Batman. I don't think he will probably understand Batman yet either. No, I'm serious. Because while Batman is the flip side of Superman in terms of how his character is, but they both have the same sense of nobility. You know, that main thing that keeps them on whatever their path is. And it's like that's why Batman is like my favorite character. Is whatever his flaws or whatever, which is crazy is how of all the heroes or whatever who deal with children, most of the children that Batman has basically helped raise is very well adjusted. Like very, very, and like Dick and Jason and Tim, they all had like parents died, like all of them, like all three. And the fact that his own damn son was raised by assassins raised and trained to be an assassin, and he has come over to Batman's way of thinking. But it's because of his philosophy and how he does stuff. He's super obsessed and really not healthy, but so I don't know if James Gunn could actually get that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think that's a testament to his nobility and his idea of justice.
Yeah.
That's hard to write on screen. Well,
Yeah.
for some directors, so we'll see how he does.
Well, you have to fundamentally get the character to be able to correctly write stories for him. That's why a lot of the stuff that you see written now, the person really doesn't get the character that much.
They don't. They just use the character like in name only.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, all right, there is a leaked concept art who takes on Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and the Batman. So Jason Todd is essentially like he takes the Punisher's viewpoint of Batman doesn't go far enough. You keep like the fact that you keep having to go after the same people over and over again is because you don't get rid of them. So that's what Jason Todd's viewpoint is. And it's given the fact that he was murdered by the Joker. So you can kind of see why you can see why he feels like he does. Now, over the years, he has been tamed by his reassociation with Batman, with Bruce Wayne. Like I said, the whole noble thing. Them and basically him and Dick Grayson, this is the older brother, just the little brother kind of thing. So like I said, of all the different families throughout the DC universe, the one with the most well-adjusted family is Batman, which is kind of funny.
Considering he came from a broken family.
Right. So yeah, he's like Dick Grayson is basically Batman without all the issues. Same skill set, like everything. So but there is a all right, so you can see that. We can blow it up. So concept art, dynamic duo. This is like Nightwing. So he has the OG Nightwing costume on. At least that's what it looks like. And so I don't know how I feel about that. That's a little weird. Okay, so this is this would be Dick because he's using Eskrima sticks because Tim used a staff. And I'm assuming that this is Jason Todd. Why he has a slingshot, I don't know. That's a little weird. So like I said, and this is coming from James Gunn stuff. So all that stuff that you're seeing now, that's all James Gunn. Right. So that's what I said. Dude, I don't know if he actually gets these characters. All right, so let's read the article a little bit. Want to see those pictures, right? So, all right. So I guess they're wrote teaming up with Sky Swaybox Studios, dynamic duo, movie blending animation and puppetry. I don't know what I feel about that, which revolves around Robin, Dick Grayson, and Jason Todd. Grayson reported that the story will explore how Grayson and Todd's friendship as youths becomes tested by their diverging ideas for their future. Again, it's a pair of thieves who could. Oh, okay, that would be stupid. Do not change, bro. Do not. Writers. There's a reason why these characters have been around for 50, 60 years. you're not gonna write anything that's better. You're not. I am sorry to break it to you. You are not going to write anything that is better than what has been established over the last 60 fucking years. You're not. So please stop doing that. Two rabbits team up and then uses the comic dick was the first one to get hold the mantle. He's taking it. I mean, they're both like Dick Grayson is not that much older than Jason Todd. So yeah, they could be like, I don't know why they would be both Robin at the same time, which would be weird. But them teaming up, you can have him as a young Nightwing teaming up with Jason Todd as Robin. You can do that. Dick was the first one. Jason, Batman found him attempting to steal one of Batmobile's wheels, took the ball on this thing. Oh, I don't know. These writers just aren't good. That's just the basic thing that I get from all this stuff is like it's like, all right, like with the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts could have been interesting. Could have been. The fact that it doesn't have a villain, the fact that they decided to go with mental health being the villain and everybody's dealing with their issues. I'm not sure why you think people will give you money to watch that. Because everyone's dealing with their own mental issues. Why would I need to see Florence Pugh's mental issues? Like, why would I need to see that? I just want to see lots of butt kicking. That's it. And then you don't actually have a villain. You're just fighting his version of his mental illness, and you don't actually fight him. Oh, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the movie.
Good job.
No, there's no villain. So it's a lot of like they still come up with interesting concepts. Oh, I had I was watching this anime, right? And it's called To Be Hero X, right? The concept is if enough people believe in you, like through social media and all that kind of stuff, it actually can give you powers. All right. So the more people have faith in you in terms of you as a hero, you can become basically Superman from a regular person.
I could see that.
Right. So in terms of that's a cool enough concept, and it plays out through in the first couple of episodes where he's pretending to be somebody else. So as long as he's doing stuff as that person, he gains all that person's powers. So he has all flight and all that kind of stuff. But once everyone finds out that he's not that, he essentially loses all of that power. But he eventually gets it back by taking on this villain who kidnaps someone that he cares about, and he's doing it as a regular person. So as a regular person, he's getting manhandled and all that other stuff. But people start to believe in him. So once they start doing that, he gets those powers back. So like there's cool concepts that are out. So you can make new stuff, so you don't got to go back and bastardize freaking stuff that everybody likes, thus destroying it like they did with Marvel and Star Wars and Star Trek and so on and so forth. Oh, wow. Have you guys checked out the new Harry Potter cast?
I seen it on the YouTube.
Oh gosh. That's another one.
Well, okay, here we go. This is what they look like. Now, it's beyond Snape being black, which is hella stupid because he's described in the books. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's in the books that will come across very weird when a very British white guy is saying that to a very African looking dude. the whole mudblood stuff and all that kind of stuff. Same general concept applies to this young lady right here. Even though she's not, she looks, I guess she's more Indian, I guess. But it's the same concept. She was called Mudblood by the elitists in the Harry Potter world on numerous occasions. How do you think that's going to come across when you tell that to her?
Yikes.
All right. So this is Harry, and this is Harry, and this is Ron. So down Lithgow is this is basically is Dumbledore, Janet McTears, McGonagall, Papa. Okay, is whatever is Snape. Nick Frost is Hagrid. Luke Talon is Quirrell, and Paul Whitestone is Argus Fitch.
Is this a movie or a series?
No, you're gonna watch these kids grow up. So every year they're gonna start filming, and so every year is gonna be a year of this school. So they're gonna do one book, then the next book, and then the next book, and the next book, and it's every season is gonna be that. So they're gonna be constantly filming this.
So movies, right? Like how they did the Harry Potter.
No, this is gonna be a TV show.
It's a series.
TV show.
Yeah. So they're gonna do all the stuff that all the Harry Potter fans complained about that they left out in the movies. They're gonna be able to do it because it's gonna be a TV show
On HBO.
Yes. So you're gonna watch these three kids grow up. It's kind of like the Stranger Things thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, like they don't do skips in the middle, whereas they like, okay, the kid's 6 foot tall now. Bro, the little girl from season 2, the little black girl, she just graduated high school. So like you're taking a little long for these things, man. Like I don't think they're technically in the 80s anymore. Because if she's in high school, that means like what about 11 or something like that in season 3. So she graduated from high school. This is 5, and if this takes place like in 1985, that is pushing you into the 90s. So it's like, are they gonna pretend that they're still in the 80s, even though the kids look like they're all in their 20s now? So I don't know, but right. So they was people kind of took it as kind of like, well, I don't think anybody was expecting them to make her white. At this point, I'm like, dude, if you're gonna do stuff like this, just pick a book that has the characters where they look like what you want to actually portray. Like, yes, it was a phenomenon. Help somebody else's story become a phenomenon. But they don't know how to do that either, so they got to go off of what's been established. So, controversial commentary. Apparently, the Papa dude wrote he signed something to deal with the trans issue that happened in UK, where they said that there's only 2 genders, kind of thing. So there's always an issue. So this dude.
Does J.K. Rowling have any input into this?
Doesn't seem so, because she has not said anything about it. She's not actually pushing it.
Yeah.
Dude, it is so weird. She still has all the rights to all of this stuff. So they haven't purchased the rights from her. It is basically like leasing them. So she still has she's still making money off of every last little thing dealing with Harry Potter, because she's not stupid. Well, it depends on what her beliefs and stuff is, whether or not you think she's stupid. But in terms of Harry Potter, she's not. She did so either she or whoever she has as a lawyer or whatever. So yeah, she doesn't. I don't think she cares enough about the actual property in terms of other mediums, because she okayed, like, it was like a story or a play where they made Hermione black. I don't know why they keep.
The musical.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know. And usually the people, what kills me is usually the people who do this stuff are white. It's like, I don't get why white people keep trying to change white characters into black people for some damn reason. And it's always, and they do it to redheads. So it's not like black people have that much damn power to change anything. So it's white people who are changing all the redheads into black people for some reason. So then the white people get mad at black people like we got anything to fucking do with any of this. No, when you get back to whoever did the producing and the writing stuff, it's another white person. Get mad at them. I don't really understand why they're doing it. It's actually pretty weird. It's very, very weird. Dude, it's very weird. I don't get why they're doing it. There are plenty of stories with black people in them. Pick one of them. Then you can make a whole series, but they don't want to do that.
Because in the books that they describe, I have some of the books and read them. They describe the characters, right? Like their appearance and stuff.
There's a sketch of Snape that she did, and he's described a lot. She described what all the characters look like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what they do is they say like, all right, well, they fold and spin stuff that the thing, and they just ignore other parts where they clearly state what this person looks like. Yeah, I'm so tired of this stuff, dude. Like seriously. George R.R. Martin, instead of working on the last book, you heard about the where we go? There's like two things though. You know, Amazon is Rings of Power and Citadel on sale for syndication, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah. I don't they're trying to get some of that money back. All right. So George R.R. Martin will produce a Hercules inspired A Dozen Tough Jobs. All right. So this dude is gonna do the take on the 12 labors of Hercules. But he's gonna do it, and guess what? 1940s South. Because I don't know why you wouldn't not expect that. He's a black dude. They only make movies and whatnot in the 1950s and 40s. You know, you gotta make sure you keep that racism put right up there. You know, just keep on pushing that shit. Right. So they just couldn't do just Hercules. They couldn't put it in the future. They got to be 1940s. What time period is the last thing that has a mostly black cast in it? When was that? 1940s, right? Sinners. It's like they stick in that little area. It's like gotta keep it right there. So instead of writing those last books that everybody wants him to write before he dies, he's doing this.
Really is a side quest.
Yeah, pretty much. The main character named Hokla Lee. Lee is a very common black last name, so that's fine. Is not a powerful demigod, but a black man and a recently released convict, because of course he is. To stay out of jail, he is forced into indentured servitude. Oh, wow. So we got convict, black dude. He's basically a slave without all the weapons by a cruel man named Boss Eustace, which is probably going to be a very, very southern white guy.
Yeah.
The only way to earn his freedom is to complete a series of very challenging and dangerous tasks, each one based on one of the original 12 labors of Hercules. Story blends mythic resonance with historical grit as it explores large-scale concepts such as true freedom, just punishment, what life was like for black people in Jim Crow South, because we have not heard that enough. Right? We haven't heard that enough times in the last 50 years. Like, okay, I get it. Yes, the Jim Crow area was tough. Please move on to something else. Like, black people are more than just that. Slaves in Jim Crow South.
Wonder why George Martin doing this stuff, man.
I don't know, dude. Why did he give money to friggin' for them to make dire wolves? They gave money for that. I don't know. The speculation is that he doesn't know how to end those books.
So this retelling of the Hercules labors,
Yes.
it's from another source, or it's from like a book or something.
I don't
Because
know.
I think that's like an interesting crossover.
Let's see.
Like the a dozen tough jobs thing. Is that I think that's what it said in the article.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, Howard Wall drops a dozen tough jobs.
Okay. All right. Jim saw the dozen tough jobs. Is a creative and powerful story that brings ancient legends. On reduced to film. Trailblazing minority. Lion Forge is a trailblazing minority-owned studio specializing in both animation, live action, storytelling. The company Game Wire. Short Hair Love. Okay. Like what projects and drawn in educational animation show produced for PBS. It's visual storytelling is expert hands with the renowned French animation studio Blue Spirit, fresh off their Emmy win for Blue Eye Samurai. Visually, it's gonna look good. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about the Jim Crow South. Seriously, I am.
Because if he's one of the people behind it and he's basing it off of that, a dozen tough jobs, so maybe it is really like how the story is told like that. It's an interesting crossover. I would never expect that to like,
bro.
You know,
stick it in the future. Like stick it in the future.
Let me Google it.
Put it like modern times, where you don't have to be he doesn't have to be a former convict. He doesn't have to be any of that. He could just, you can make him a strong man where who's arrogant or whatever, and he's getting humbled by whatever. There's a lot of ways you can do it. It does not have to be in the damn Jim Crow South. And minority owned thing, that doesn't mean that. What does that actually mean? Like, okay, that don't even mean that the people who are doing it are black. So that don't mean anything. And I don't know how what makes that good or bad or whatever. I was like, I don't know how that helps. You're telling the same story. It's like Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry tells the same damn story over and over again. So I'm tired of hearing about I'm tired of hearing about Jim Crow South, dude.
Oh,
like,
see, I read it here. So
okay.
A Dozen Tough Jobs is a novella by Howard Waldrop, which retells the 12 labors of Hercules and the Depression era American South.
Okay.
So I guess it really is how the movie is really based off of that book.
Okay, that's nice. I'm tired of hearing about Jim Crow South. So I literally don't care. You're telling the same story over. Yes, it sucked. Yes, I'm well aware that it sucked to be a black dude in the South during Jim Crow. I got it. Tell something else. I don't know why that's so difficult.
There's a lot more stories than that. Huh?
Yeah, I know why it's so difficult. It's like the whole the Little Mermaid thing. There were actually stories from Africa about mermaids. Pick one. Make that a new thing. New thing. You can. It'll have been interesting. You wouldn't have to bastardize a European story in order to tell it. You know what sucks about it? That during that time period when the Little Mermaid came out and all these other things, when they did the music for the different animations, whether it was Mulan, Hercules, Aladdin, any of that stuff, They took inspiration from the story and did an interesting take on it. So when Hercules comes out, and the muses are 4 black women, like 4 black gospel singers, right? Nobody cared. There was no outrage. People actually like I like the music. Nobody cared. Nobody cared that
too.
this.
Me too.
Right. So nobody cared because it was a artistic choice. Just like when they did the original Little Mermaid, they wanted to have a more tropical feel for it under the sea. It was just an artistic choice. That's it. They thought it would be interesting. And if you go back and you look at all those movies, each choice that they made it was to benefit the story and to do something different. They're taking all of those things and reinterpreting what that was. And it sucks. And also tells me that they will not be able to recreate any of that. Because they don't understand why and how it was created in the first. You know? Sucks. All right, well, that's all I got today. I'm tired of being upset about pop culture stuff. So what do you think, Ricky?
I mean, it's just not that much news, anyways.
No. See, at least like when they did Coco, they honored your traditions and they actually made a heartfelt thing that was not pandering or preachy or any of that stuff. I'm just tired of hearing about Jim Crow South. So, all right. When is Superman supposed to come out anyway? So
I thought July.
it's supposed to be the same time when Fantastic Four comes out too.
Like summer this year or July.
Yeah, something like that. So I can see when it's supposed to release it. A lot of stuff. I don't know. So hopefully it won't suck. July 11th. That's coming out on July 11th, and Fantastic Four, I think it's supposed to be around the same time. I can learn how to spell fantastic. That would be nice. Fantastic Four. That is July 25th. So they're about 2 weeks in between. I don't know what's coming out in the next few months. But that, like, Fantastic Four will be basically that and Ironheart for Marvel until next year, like late next year, because they got to film Doomsday, then they got to film Secret Wars. That got pushed back. The X-Men stuff, I don't know what they're gonna do. If they catch that ugly chick from Wicked to be Storm, oh, bro, she looked like dude. She like, all right, hold on. Nosferatu. I know I just it's like a picture. Oh, I spelled it wrong. There's a picture that someone put up with her standing next to her.
Oh gosh,
bro! If she don't look like Nosferatu, it's crazy. So I can find a picture of him.
Damn, the internet could be mean.
Hold on, here we go, dude. Of course, the internet's mean. It's behind a computer screen, dude. All right. If she don't do, she look just like him, man. All right. I don't know what her name is. So you got that, and Wicked.
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, I don't know what her name.
Cynthia Erivo. Right.
Cynthia. I don't know what I can put. Movie cast. Bro, she don't tell me that she don't look like Nosferatu.
Oh my god.
Dude. Yeah, bro. She does.
See, now when I watch Wicked too.
Dude, Storm is beautiful. She don't look like Nosferatu. All right, so I'm gonna stop being mean, and we're gonna call it a night. Being an ass. All right, so it is 10 something. I am probably gonna get a late night snack, turn my air conditioning back on because it's getting warm in here. So what are you guys gonna get into?
Probably sleeping a bit too.
You there, Mr. Ricky?
I'm reading a book.
Oh,
Books.
okay. Nice. Getting all educated and whatnot. So on that note, later.
Bye.